For the 10th anniversary of Archie King's passing, we thought it would be meaningful to compile videos of his friends and family, so his grandkids can get to know them through their eyes.
Hello, Archie. I love pomelo. I wish I could eat pomelo with you and different other foods that you like. Ice cream is my favorite. Strawberry ice cream. And a steak is my favorite. Bye. Love you. Is it nighttime there? Bye. Send the video again.
We all know King Archie for his magnanimity and for his business class. We also know that he's got a subtle sense of humor, some dry wit, and you can tell it from the mischief in his eyes, even when he has such a serious demeanor. I remember many years ago, decades ago, when we were in Corregidor together, we were hosting a big group of visiting YPOers from all over the region. And he pulled me aside and he says, "Can I give you a spin on my chopper?" And since he was such a reliable and trustworthy person, I went up with him and he decided to have fun. And so he took me for a big slalom on his chopper along the coastline and drove the fear of God into me. So I credit Archie for my religiousness because of the prayers that I had to say that day in his chopper. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I am glad to share some of my memories of Archie to all of you. Archie is a very unique personality. He is a mixture of introspective, quiet, humble gentleman, a tough and effective businessman, and a loving father and partner to Ling Ling. He would spend days with monks in Thailand to get deeper into himself, which I found extraordinary. He brought a wealth of ideas to our forum, particularly on health and wellness. And he will always remind everyone in the group, guys, you can't take it with you.
Hello, Ats and kids. I'm your Tito Theo. An incident I recall with your father when he came over in his chopper to visit us in our place in Mindoro, in an island that we were in. And his instructions for landing was that we should form the letter H, so that once he sees that, that will be the place where he will land. And my father, Andy, was very excited that your dad would be coming over to visit us, in his chopper. And so he thought of creating the letter H with toilet paper because toilet paper was white and he knew that it could be seen from up. And so he rolled out several wads of toilet paper to create that letter H. And we waited, and when your dad came, as he was approaching, he noticed that the letter H was made of toilet paper, and so he had to pull up, and find another place to land. And later on, he explained that he cannot land because the toilet paper would get sucked up by the blades. It may do harm. So that was an incident because we ran out of toilet paper the whole time that we were there. That's my funny incident with recalling that. Bye.
Good afternoon. I'm your Lolo Widen. I'm the brother of your Lolo, Archie. He's older than me, 1 year and 4 days older than me. we grew up together. Archie was my first playmate, and he was my first playmate for a long time until we grew up. And as my first playmate, we used to make toys together, make out of wood from the wood of crates, from the glass crates of my father's business. We would have it cut up and pretend that they would be trucks or cars. And not only that, from the wood, we also build playhouses for ourselves. We would use the hammer and nail and the wood to build and have the wood cut to its size and build those playhouses. And aside from that, Archie and we played a lot in the streets with the poor boys in the street, and we learned how to make our own kites. We learned how to fly kites. We learned how to have dog fights with kites. We would do a lot of things, play things that the street children would play, such as other things that we would do, like that we would make papotok, we would make paltik, we would make sumpit, then we would play, we would squirt with the squirt gun, but the street kids would play dirty because they would fill the squirt gun with pee. So we would have a lot of fun playing with the street kids. And one of the most memorable activity I had with my brother Archie is we would go biking. Even as young as 5, 6, 7 years old, we would be biking in the streets, and we would be biking far from our place in P. Florentino. We would bike all the way to Santo Domingo Church. It's about a 3-kilometer distance away, and we have these small bicycles, and we would even disassemble them and put them together. And you learn, even as small kids of 6, 7 years old, we would know how to disassemble, assemble, and grease up, oil our own bicycles. We had so much fun. Archie, as I said, is my first playmate, and we love each other so much. God bless you.
I'm Darius Hizon. Archie and I met through a friend. So at first glance, I felt a little bit awkward because Archie arrived in a helicopter. Of course, when a person arrives in a helicopter, sabi nila mayaman. At that time, I was on the national shooting team, and Archie was interested in learning. So I did some coaching with him. The funny thing is that he is left-handed, and the problem is that everyone shoots right-handed. So even though the gun didn't fit him, he kept going because he really wanted to learn. Going back to when I said that he was rich, I didn't see Archie being proud, but I saw how humble he was. I don't see him complain like other people I've met, very soft-spoken, and of all the rich people I've met, he is very down-to-earth. And for those who are listening, I want to tell you a secret. He doesn't carry a wallet. Shh! Just kidding. So to Archie, thank you for all the good memories, and thank you because you are also one of the reason why I became a pilot. See you in the afterlife, my friend.
I was paired with Archie for an EO-YPO mentorship program many years ago. My biggest takeaway from him was the importance of balancing hard work with hard play. He believed that life was about working hard at one's goals, but also enjoying life to the max. He once organized a trip for him and my family to his Caliraya home. On a helicopter he piloted himself. I remember as a co-pilot pa. He loved doing what he loved, enjoying the fruits of his labor. Years later, I was fortunate enough to join a starter forum with his son, Atticus, as my forum mate, who is still my forum mate. I'd like to think I have also somehow been able to share some of my learnings with Ats through this forum. I feel it's full circle for me. Work hard, play hard. One of the secrets to a happy life, according to Archie King.
Hello everybody, my name is Archie King, granddaughter of Archie King. He's the dad of my dad. He donated buildings, he helped farmers grow more food in their farms, and just helped a lot of people. But I didn't see him because he crashed in an helicopter. So he wasn't able to see me and I didn't see him. But I'm glad at least I heard about him. But some people think I look like him. So if you want to remember him, just look at my face.
I'm Joy Roa of Asian Air Safari, flying buddy of Archie for I don't know how many years. I miss Archie terribly because he's the only one that I could easily convince to go with me in any of my adventures. And he's the only one that I know who would honor his commitment when it comes to traveling or flying anywhere. We both enjoyed flying, and he entrusted me to buy almost all of his helicopters. We also traveled together to Italy, where we learned how to fly the Augusta. The whole gang was there, Maynard, Fritz, and myself. The excuse was finding a good restaurant every evening. We did a little bit of shopping, wine tasting, cheese tasting. We just wonder how we managed to pass that written exam and the check ride. When we had a helicopter, of course, we'd fly almost anywhere in the Philippines. We flew to Mindoro to look for the tamaraws. We'd fly to Busuanga to chase dugongs from the air, on the water with jet skis. So it was something that very few people would do. We also flew to Natunin. It's a small town in the mountain province, wherein we had a picnic facing the nice rice terraces. We also flew to Sabah to look for orangutans in the jungle. And one of the fun activities we did is that we said we'd like to go to the white sand beach. So we flew to Basilan, where kidnapping is rampant, landed, went swimming in the white sand beach. But every time we see a fast speedboat coming, we'd slowly walk to the helicopter and be ready to take off so that they won't catch us. So that was another adventure that I think only Archie and I would do. There are so many things that I can say about our flying, our friendship, our fun times together. We were a good combination. I talk a lot. Archie likes to listen. He hardly eats. I eat a lot. So that was a good combination. But truly, I miss the good times that we had together and wish we had more time to continue on having fun.
Hi, Ats. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I've been very busy. It's been quite some time since we've last seen each other, and I've heard you've got 5 kids already. Well, anyway, good to be able to be in touch with you once again, and it would be a privilege to be able to share with your kids what your father was to me. We both were flying buddies, and we've been very, very close, as you have witnessed when you were a younger man then. We were really close, and he was really, really very special to me. I initially got to hear of him ages ago when I was in charge of the equestrian activities at the Manila Polo Club, but never really got introduced to him until a mutual and a very close friend, also of your father,
Boy Ochoa introduced me to him. I've had the privilege of giving him his first helicopter flight experience, swooping down for a quick pickup on a pre-arranged spot near his house in Forbes and flying to Mount Makiling to meet other friends. You know, he and I really loved the outdoors and the adventures we had set forth. We had so much flying hours together, places I'm sure that hardly anyone would have adventured to. Our flying adventures were one of a kind and really truly great adventures. We flew, kids all over the Philippines, islands, and from the northern tip to the southern places of the Philippines. We went continuous flying for almost a month and a half. And we really did a lot of flying together along coastlines, a lot of mountain flying up north, the mountain province, the Sierra Madre area. I would drop him off on mountain tops and he would, bike down, and I'd be following him or meet up with him at the bottom. Just being in touch by radio from the top, and he had a radio with him while he was biking down the mountain. We would do the same when we ventured into, when he actually went to riding a raft and going down river, most especially at the northern Philippines, starting at the top Chico River and eventually rafting his way down through white waters, all the way to getting close to Isabela. We had great experiences landing in various areas, unimaginable, really close to waterfalls and in rivers, in the mountains, and all along the shorelines around the Philippines. You name it, we did it. We really loved adventure, and sometimes our mutual friend in flying, also Joy Roa, would have to come to our rescue to advise flight operations where our whereabouts were, as we would be overdue supposedly on a time that we would have reached an airport. And that would happen because as we flew, he would suddenly find a nice and beautiful spot, let's say on top of the mountain facing the Pacific, and he'd ask me, let's just land there and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the tranquility and all that. We did a lot of flying in this early stage. And as I said, I gave him his first flight, and I did pick him up from a pre-assigned place in Forbes, and we flew to Mount Makiling. We also stayed a lot of time at Caliraya, and during the early stages, when he was starting to take possession of Caliraya, we even just parked the helicopter and slept overnight out in the open. Your grandfather, Archie, was so thoughtful and generous in all sense of the word. Our mutual friend, Maynard Halili, Joy and I, together with Ling Ling, we were invited for a month-long training in the facility of Augusta in Italy. And we really had a great time driving around, flying to Mont Blanc, all around Italy. Your grandfather was really a buddy, a brother who continues to be very alive in my thoughts. In thoughts and in prayer, always with you, Arch. And we'll always be together till we meet again.
This is Tita Usy. I am the first cousin of your Lolo Archie. Okay, so that makes me your Lola as well. Hi Kim, and to the kids, Storm, Sky, Soul, Arcus, and Artemis. Your Lolo was a really great man, and the thing I remember most was that he loved the outdoors. On weekends, no fail, he would spend time in Caliraya, windsurfing and camping and being close to nature. And he loved that. And once he invited the cousins, and we all spent time there, gathered around bonfire. We stayed overnight, and it just so happened it really rained. And when I went to my tent, when I ran there, my tent was like flooded by like this much. So I had to evacuate and spend the night with Archie in his camper. And so that was really memorable to me. Archie loved being healthy and working out just like your dad, and eating healthy. So you guys, that's what you have to follow. I mean, it would be nice that you took care of yourself and later on take care of your parents. So happy birthday, Ats. Hi Kim, bye.
Go. My name is Storm. No, I'm talking. Okay, go.
Yeah, what's your name, buddy?
My name is. Okay, I'll cover this. And I love you, and I miss you, and I will cover you. Hi, my name is Storm. I'm very happy to say this. Okay, wait. Let's start. Who's Lola Archie? Lola Archie was kind, generous, and super cool. Dad said he loved windsurfing and spent most weekends outside the city, probably because he had asthma and the fresh air helped him feel better. I wish I could feel better too. I never got to meet him, but I think if we did, we'd be at the beach together, windsurfing together, laughing and sharing pomelo under the sun. I bet the pomelo tastes good. Even if he's not here now, I feel like a part of him lives in our family. It's like you're still with us, even though you're gone. That's how much we love you. Especially in Dad. And today, on Dad's birthday, I remember him too. Maybe they're both kind of celebrating together in a special way. I hope you're happy. I am your firstborn. My full name is Amara Storm King. Thank you. Archie, want to say anything else? Come on. My name is Arcus, and I will be Spider-Man in your birthday. And I will love you. He's very funny. Thank you, Lola Archie. Bye. Can we hide Storm?
Iris Rosario here, first cousin to Archie. And what is my best memory of Archie? I guess the best memory I have of Archie was spending time with him, going to Caliraya. When we got there, there was no helicopter then. We went by car. And then when we got there, he had a camper. So we spent the day water skiing, swimming in the lake, and cooking our meals in this little burner with manang solang. And it was really fun, camping. But at the end of the day, it was time to take a shower, and I said, okay, where am I going to take a shower and shampoo my hair? And he said, oh, Not a problem. Where's your shampoo and your soap? Bring it along. Where are we going? I said, where are we going? Yeah, come on, come on. We'll just go on the boat. I said, okay. Where are we going? Is there someone with a bathroom somewhere in the lake? Goes, no, you're gonna shampoo your hair in the middle of the lake. In the middle of the lake. Okay. So anyway, he told me, go down. Okay, we rode the boat. And he said, okay, you can go down now and shampoo. Okay, I tried to do that. And I said, okay, I shampooed. I said, that's okay na. So then I went up the boat and I said, I looked over there and I said, did you see that? There's a carabao there swimming in front, upstream. And all the carabao stuff going to me. I'm like, oh gosh, what's this? And then he said, don't worry, I bought you something. I thought of you. What? Because he gives me this little bag, white bag, filled with water and a little shower. Goes, here, you can rinse with this. Okay. The little bag is gonna rinse my hair. My hair is even longer than this then. Okay, so I got to use it in the most important parts of my body and hair. Okay, nothing tops that. I'm like, okay. But he was, mind you, he was very thoughtful. He remembered to bring extra water for me. And then, okay, nighttime, we spent a lot of time lying down on a mat, staring up in the sky and enjoying ourselves, looking at all the constellations. And we were looking up and saying, what is that? Is that a UFO? And then we said, I think it's time to sleep. Okay, so I said, where are we going to sleep? Goes, I'm sleeping in the big tent with the boys and Manang Solang. Okay, where am I going to sleep and do that? And he said, don't worry, I brought you your own tent. Okay, where's the tent? Then I see the driver or whoever was that putting up a tent, a Boy Scout tent. Okay, when I sat in the tent, the roof was until here. Okay, so I could only sit in the tent. And it was only one person to one tent. So Ludette had to sleep in another tent. And I had my own tent. Okay, took some time to go to sleep. But finally, when I was about to sleep, somebody was crawling into my tent. And it was Ludette who said she couldn't sleep all alone in her tent. So we were laughing and laughing the whole night. And at the end of the day, we told Archie when it was morning, you need to build a house. we have a hard time. We cannot stay in this place without a house. So that was so funny. So I guess that's why he built Kaliraya, so that his cousins can always come along with him. So that's how he was. Archie was always so concerned for his cousins, whether it be about a sachet or a pouch with water, a tent, a special tent. He was like that. Archie was always thoughtful to his cousins and to his friends. He lived in the present. He always gave his time for his family and to be with us. Thank you.
All, I'm Roger Mabanta. To tell you frankly, I can't exactly recall how I met Archie some 55 years ago when we were freshmen in LaSalle Taft. Our friendship slowly developed through the years, just like regular barcadas. We would go out of town trips on weekends, even as far as Ilocos, joining car rallies in the south and of course in social activities. He was a nature lover and a health buff. After college, we would cross paths as members of our radio communications group, the Manila JCs, and projects with centers of Saint Mother Teresa, among others. Somewhere in between, we became ninongs to our children, Nicola, my daughter, and Atticus, his son. and now our children are also friends. Archie's life is overflowing with activity, ready to learn and mentor. He was likewise a philanthropist to several organizations and individuals, always ready to assist in whatever way. He would enjoy entertaining friends whenever and wherever. I guess we are all aware of what transpired in his final years of his life, from his deadly disease to his miraculous recovery, then lost him from his chopper accident on Atticus' birthday. I find it rather profound that he was given a short extended life to live between his illness and death. 10 years, yes, has gone by, but Archie is still missed. Continue watching over your family, Archie. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I am your Lola Suki. This is addressing the kids of Atticus. And this is your Lolo JB, okay? And a short history of our relationship with your Lolo Archie. And we made a write-up from the limbs, and we grew up together when we were very young because our mothers were twins. Anyway, they went together all the time, so the children followed. So Archie and we then were like siblings. So we were actually five boys and 2 girls, always together during summertime in the ranch of my father, and vegan, where we all were together with all the other cousins. So it was such a beautiful time, and we didn't have any gadgets, phones, and no computers, right, Jabe?
Yep.
Nothing, just plain tirador, just plain tumbang preso, and that's how we grew up. So, introducing us, we're kind of...
Hello. Yes, we grew up with Archie and we we spent all summers together since we were young. But I left for Canada early in the 80s and never got to know him after that. But before he passed away, I got to know him when we started to go diving back again when he had the yacht. So I had a few underwater pictures, videos of your Lola Archie. I can send them to you if you want. Then again, I really got close to him when you were diving.
He was very kind soul.
Anima Seda, cousin of Archie, a first cousin of Archie on the Rosario side. In the Rosario side, we are about 30 cousins. Archie was one of the eldest ones, and I was one of the youngest ones. But in spite of my age, or the age gap, or generation gap, he never looked down or excluded me from any of the activities. He always listened to my stories. He always valued my opinion. And my favorite memory of him is once he invited me to go to Caliraya, and I sat next to him as co-pilot, and he actually let me take hold of the stick to fly the helicopter. It was so scary and I was so nervous, and he just kept saying, relax, look at the horizon and direct the stick towards there. And now thinking about it, I think that's the way Archie really was. He was so relaxed, so collected, always looking to the future, always looking forward. He was never stumped by a problem. He was never overly anxious, but always calm, collected, and looking to the future, looking to hurdle problems.
I remember Archie King, my best friend in college at DLSU, class of 75. This trophy is the only one we earned together at LaSalle Taft. It was February 2nd, 1975. I drove my modified Colt and Archie was the navigator. We made a great team. I'm Raymond A. Reyes, classmate of Archie's in business administration, now president of the Aristocrat Group of Companies. On September 8th, 2009, Archie, his cousin from the Philippine Olympic team, and I went skeet shooting with 12-gauge shotguns. Archie and I loved outdoor sports. He taught me to water ski and monoski at Lake Caliraya during college. Before that, I skied in Switzerland. Later that month, we were at an abandoned cement plant in Libis. Archie's son, Ian, was drifting in his modified car. Archie, in his brand-new Corvette, gave drifting a try, too, with me riding beside him. Unforgettable memories. Archie wasn't just a friend. He was a brother.
Hello, this is Q Doramal, and I'm a friend of Archie King. I met Archie when both of us were at De La Salle College, and that was when it was still an all-boys school. And we met each other since he was the business manager of the drama club, I believe with Roger Mabanta. And from that interaction, we became close. In fact, Roger, myself, and Toy Tolentino were the godparents or godfather to you at. And then I left for the States. But every time I would come to visit Manila, Arch was very generous with his time. And we would either go to his house to visit and have a meal, or he would take me to Caliraya and even to Coron with my wife Wendy Picache using Archangel. That was about, I think, 2 or 3 days. Arch was very generous of his time, and he made sure that at the end of every visit or trip, he would ask me how I felt, how I was, and he was concerned, I guess, for my well-being as well as for others. Now, there was one scary moment when we were still at La Salle, and I had invited him and Roger to my parents' place in Alabang. And so Arch was driving. I believe it was a BMW sports car. And I was in the back, Roger was in front. And as we were on SLEX, it was raining or drizzling, and suddenly the car swerved. And after that, there was no more conversation. We were all quiet until we got to the destination. That was one of the times I remember. It was scary, but it was part of being young. I hope I've done justice to this video. Love to everybody, especially your children, that this be a little reminder of their grandfather. God bless. Goodbye.
Okay.
Go, Storm.
Hi, this is Dad, this is Mom, and this is me.
This is Amara Storm, our eldest, who's 8. So we're here to say thank you to everyone who sent titos, lolos, lolas, family, friends.
Send videos for us and them.
Yeah, we just saw it. We spent 40 minutes watching it this morning
40?
after breakfast, and the kids loved it.
No, I ate my breakfast after.
It was wonderful to hear stories from Lolo Archie's dad's closest friends. That way the kids can also learn more about him, aside from the stories that they hear from.
I love you!
Yeah, this is Sky.
This is Sky, one of our twins.
Our second. So thanks again, guys. All the best in health, in life, in love.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, and love from us to all of you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.